10 Things We Hope the MCU does better than Fox's X-Men movie franchise. Marvel Studios has the opportunity to fix some of the biggest mistakes in 20th Century Fox's X-Men franchise. Now mutants are coming to the MCU. Fox's X-Men franchise kicked off with 2000's eponymous X-Men and spanned 2 decades, coming to an end with 2020's disappointing The New Mutants. Over 13 feature films, Fox weaved confusing continuities packed full of lackluster interpretations of Marvel Comics characters and storylines. But there is now hope that Marvel Studios will take mutants and the X-Men and treat them with much more care. Whether it be wasting important X-Men characters from Marvel Comics, diluting and altering pivotal backstories, butchering iconic and formidable X-Men villains, or failing to explore some of the X-Men's weirder stories, 20th Century Fox made many mistakes in the X-Men franchise. Of course, it wasn't all bad, as movies including X-Men, Days of Future Past, Deadpool, and Logan saw huge success. Following Disney's acquisition of Fox and the development of the MCU's own X-Men reboot, however, Marvel Studios is perfectly primed to resolve some of Fox's major X-Men issues. Marvel needs to focus more on Fox's underused X-Men. One of the biggest crimes of Fox's X-Men franchise was that some of Marvel Comics' most notable, powerful, and important X-Men members were completely fumbled. Some of the most central X-Men were given little to do, while others, including Professor X and Wolverine, arguably got far more attention than they needed. Cyclops was relegated to a whiny jock. Storm never showed off the full potential of her godlike powers. Rogue was completely wrong. Gambit was ignored entirely, and many others were rendered jokes or irrelevant bit parts. Marvel Animation recently proved that every member of the X-Men can be developed equally in 2024's X-Men 97 revival series. Marvel Studios should use this as a blueprint for the MCU's X-Men team, giving Cyclops, Storm, Iceman, Gambit, Rogue, Beast, and Jubilee much more action and more substantive storylines in live action. The X-Men work best when their family dynamic is explored, and Fox's X-Men franchise never managed to tap into this concept, but there are hopes the MCU will do better. The Hellfire Club deserves more attention. 2011's X-Men First Class introduced the Hellfire Club to live action, led by Kevin Bacon's Sebastian Shaw. This group was a precursor to the Brotherhood of Mutants, who would eventually fall under Magneto's control, but had just a fraction of the impact as they should have done in the X-Men franchise. The 5-person group paled in comparison to Marvel Comics' Hellfire Club, which has been causing problems and influencing events behind the scenes since its debut in 1980, and has, at times, been almost 20 strong, comprising powerful mutant villains. It would be fantastic to see an accurate depiction of the Hellfire Club brought into live action in the MCU. The Society shouldn't be a one-and-done villain, either, but should be a prominent background threat to the X-Men, sowing the seeds of discord in several upcoming MCU projects. Introducing the Hellfire Club properly creates the opportunity for previously unseen characters, such as Harry Leland, Jason Wingard, Selene, Madeline Pryor, and Trevor Fitzroy, among others, to make their live-action debuts, which could massively expand the world of mutants in the MCU. Emma Frost was forgettable in Fox's X-Men franchise. One prominent member of the Hellfire Club who never got the development she deserved in Fox's X-Men franchise is Emma Frost. She has been described as one of Marvel's most notable and powerful female characters, but has been fumbled time and again in live action, first by Tahina McManus in X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and later by January Jones in X-Men First Class. In the years since her debut in 1980, Emma Frost has evolved from a formidable supervillain into a bona fide hero, and has even become the leader of the X-Men team, none of which has been seen on screen. Adapting Emma Frost properly for the MCU is a necessity, as she is one of the most important X-Men characters in Marvel Comics, but has never been done justice in live action. The likes of Margot Robbie, Lea Seydoux, and Blake Lively have been popular fan casts for the role of Emma Frost, any of whom would be able to deliver powerful performances that leave a lasting impression. Frost should not be a secondary character in the MCU. The prospect of seeing her develop over several years and see huge transformations in the MCU is very exciting.